Pride in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we start in the middleweight division. Steve Razor Rao is one of the most exciting and powerful newcomers we have ever seen in the Super Series. This multiple US national champion and multiple World Championship silver medalist is set to make a splash in the Super Series. His opponent hails from Bergen, Norway. Relentless Frode Haugland needs no introduction in arm wars. Standing 5'11" and weighing in at a brutal 86 kilograms, he is the Norwegian middleweight champion.
Before we get things underway, let's have a little look at some of the important rules of the sport. The athletes have 1 minute to get a fair grip. Their elbows must remain on the 7x7 elbow pad throughout the round. The referee can award a running foul during the match, which is a little bit like playing an advantage in soccer. And an athlete on a running foul must win the pin in order to get the restart. 2 consecutive fouls by any athlete loses them the round.
Steve Razor Rao, I'm from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and I'll be wrestling Frode.
Frode Haugland from Norway. I'm here to arm wrestle Steve Rao of US.
It's all about the power, and I love it when people just want to try to either go into my power or just try to skate into it a little bit and then see what they can do.
Steve is an incredible hooker. He's super strong inside.
When I saw that it was going to be 6 back-to-back, I never been in that situation before, but I figured that I got to start, building up my cardio and my strength and try to get my endurance to where it needs to be. I never pulled like that before.
I'm going to try and wear him out, try and strap roll him to bleed him off a bit.
Here we go, and Steve Razor Rao is an incredibly experienced arm wrestler. He's wrestled throughout the world and has amassed a lot of accolades, but this is his first time over 6 rounds. Not the case for the man we just saw scale the staircase. Relentless Frode Haugland. Carried a lot of injuries this year, but Haugland is super experienced in the Super Series, and the match starts exactly where we thought it would, deep on the inside. This is where both men prefer to be, and both men have made their reputation. Massive drive for Haugland there, tries to set that power down, but look at the tricep of Razor Rao. He's that was a dubious call I felt there. Frode Haugland with the parallel, the line judge calling it. They have a bad angle on that one, but look at it on the action replay. Big drag to the back. Yeah, that's why the line judge has the strikes on and I don't. On the replay, clearly a pin.
Dricka. Han var seig som fan. Gjorde meg bare vondt I venstre.
Yeah, yes. Okay.
What a way to start here with the first round. So
bring it around a little bit.
tiring, so brutal.
Bring it around.
Right onto the joints, and both men, you really feel that when you get underway. It's nice to get into a match.
That. Ready, go!
Not have it so harsh and hammering down on the joints again goes Rao. Massive drive. Big win for Steve Rao there, and ominous signs for Frode Haugland because he was really grimacing there as Rao drove into him that first time and horribly extended as he tried to sweep around. He got off his shoulder. Not good for the
So
Norwegian.
setting me up in the back of the pad, I set up in the front corner, and I drove.
Relentless Frode Haugland. He's been battling the injuries throughout this year. Fresh off the World Championship. Rao himself taped up. He's come back after an absence, but he looks so strong. And Haugland this time trying to put the brakes on. What a war! Deep inside here, and this is all about top end and brute force from 2 men who do it so well. Frode Haugland there, horribly extended again. He's dug under, hanging and hovering over that touchpad. But he's got the brakes onto Rao and now goes on the counter. Haugland with the squeeze there, trying to open up the American off that shoulder, but the tricep block of Steve Razor Rao is equal to it. It's a second pin for Haugland on the dip there, as Rao tried to seat his arm and sweep underneath. The wrist going below the pin line, and the pin for the Norwegian. And worked hard for that one, but not many signs for Haugland. He's grimacing heavily again now as we watch that action replay in his corner.
Det ska mycket där.
Let's hit him for once, okay?
What?
Try to hit him.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Both men feeling the effects, both blowing in the corner there. Haugland looked in pain after that round. Really feeling it. Big drive off the start. Better from Haugland on the hit, but if anything, a better position on the wrist and hand from Rao. And he is really dug in tight now, the American. Starting to squeeze back into the match. He's looking to make incremental gains, just trying to keep his position. Look at the determination on Steve Rao's face there. Razor digging hard. Haugland there. Massive counter, but he's lost his hand. Buckled open at the whoa, that looked like a pin. It was a running foul.
Running foul, keep going.
Running foul called by the line judge. Very dubious there. Questionable whether Haugland got the pin there before the running foul was called, and the line judge sat to my left, arguing about that at the moment with the Norwegian contingent. Back at the table, Razor Rao with a determined look on his face has dug in hard, and he's right on that tricep. That's where the American wanted to be, and he takes the pin. 2-2, we're tied up here. Wow, what a war. Unbelievable start, and carved hard across there, Rao. That short lever, once he's dug onto the tricep, it's hard to get him out.
He's not liking it. See his face.
Yeah,
You're wearing him out.
he's exhausted. So am I.
Kanskje du møter med presset litt da?
Men jeg prøvde på noe.
Ja, var for kjapp.
Familiar faces in the corner of both men. Kevin Harris shouting instructions to Razor Rao. What a massive tricep drive to start things off there, and he's exposed Haugland. Haugland is absolutely wide open here, and it's going to be hard to hold up the American from there. Relentless throw to Haugland, his teeth gritted, trying to dig himself back into the match, but he is millimetres over the pad. What a war! Haugland now goes on the counter, massive drive. Rao's calling for the running foul. I think he's encouraged the ref there unnecessarily, because that did not look like a runner. That one was, however.
There we go.
Haugland on the runner of no consequence. Rao with the pin in a career-ending screamer here in Vegas. Unbelievable battle. Got a Haugland there, stretched open. Steve Rao with the win, and deserved that one. Got onto the tricep.
Be thinking up there. Stay focused. Stay focused.
You got it.
Good.
You know exactly what you
Load
do.
on it, finger. Elbow clear to the front. Post up on him. Just keep a looser grip on your lower
Yeah.
finger.
Da drar han det bak. Og da kommer jeg på... Da er ikke det jeg funker ikke. Jeg begynner fremme og drar bak.
Here we go, round 6. All to play for Haugland. Needs something back now. Rao setting up on that tricep again. He's not too worried about his wrist and hand. Blasts off the start. A fantastic hit from Steve Razor Rao. The American so committed, and he gets the reward. Look of anguish and pain on the face of Frode Haugland. I think he wanted to just get that one over with, and he immediately looks at his elbow. What an enormous drive from Razor Rao. And what a way to start your